All right. I don't know why this thumbnail is of a vampire. It's really weird. I mean, you'd have to look it up to see it. But what makes Kashmiri so mysterious? Why is it a vampire? What? Why? It's like blue skin, not blue skin, gray skin, red eyes, and then that nice comb over that like the pretty boy vampires have.
Hey guys, we're in a problem. इस चैनल पर हमने इतने सारे लैंग्वेजेस और एडजेक्टिव्स के कॉम्बिनेशन से वीडियो बना लिया है कि अब हमें कुछ लेबल्स रीयूज करने पड़ रहे हैं। कुछ महीनों पहले हमने Why is Malayalam so mysterious ये वीडियो बनाया था, बट अब हमें एक ऐसा लैंग्वेज मिल गया है which in my opinion is lot more mysterious than Malayalam. So
I have to apologize.
Sorry Malayalam, but इस खिताब का सही हकदार
Freaking Twilight's getting the crown. Why is it, again, what's with the vampires? Why in Kashmiri?
I don't know. Maybe because they're white.
You speak it. You think you would...
But it's got nothing to do with speaking it.
It's about the language.
Yeah, and the people who speak it, I guess.
Okay, okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
अरे कश्मीरी को सब जानते तो हैं बट कोई समझता नहीं है.
You don't.
Stop with the Twilight. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I said it. I said it for your sake. I didn't mean I wanted to see it. Oh my gosh, the next thing we watch is going to have the blue Smurfs in it. Oh my freaking gosh. We're going to get the Avatar sequences. At least those scenes would look beautiful, even though they're idiotic story.
Get it.
Unexpected sound से unusual grammar तक, वैदिक मंत्र, बुद्धिस्ट inscriptions और सूफी mysticism से बर्फीली वादियों में बोले जाने वाले इस खास जुबान ने खुद में छुपाए हुए हैं काफी सारे मिस्ट्रीज, रहस्य. तो चलिए तैयार रूजू ये राजदार ज़बान मंच सफर शुरू करने खातिर. Let's begin.
Musical? You're using the excuse that was in the Telugu video. Every language is musical. You just have to put music to it or actually do poetry. I will say Telugu is much more...
I don't like salty tea.
Yeah.
It's not the secret of my energy. I've hated it.
Yeah, I prefer kava though.
Yeah.
Kava, I like that. But yeah, I mean, every language is musical. I mean, I could understand. At the very end, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I'll never learn that language because it's too complicated.
इस रीजन के लैंग्वेजेस को समझने से पहले इस रीजन के ज्योग्राफी को समझते हैं. कश्मीरी या करेक्ट टर्म कोशर बोली जाती है कश्मीर वैली में. इसे एक साइड से पीर पंजाल बॉर्डर करता है और दूसरे साइड से द ग्रेट हिमालयन रेंज. वैली के साउथ में है जम्मू जहां डोगरी बोली जाती है. वेस्ट में है पहाड़ी बोली जाती है. वैली के ईस्ट में है लद्दाख जहां लद्दाखी बोली जाती है और नॉर्थ में है गिलगित बल्टिस्तान जहां शिना और बुरुशशकी बोली जाती है. ये सारे लैंग्वेजेस कश्मीरी की तरह एक से बढ़कर एक मिस्टीरियस है.
Stop with the Why? And there's got to be some kind of reference he does at the end as to why he used Twilight.
Probably.
There's got to be. Maybe because, okay, so let me try and predict the future. Twilight is a story about vampires, which has been taken from its original context, butchered, and then changed for the enjoyment of the opposite sex. Kashmiri originated from Sanskrit, I'm guessing, and then it was probably taken and butchered for the enjoyment of the opposite sex. So it's probably harder for the
No, it's not. No,
men to understand.
No.
Maybe it's designed so women can get their emotions across a far more nuancedly. For men to be more flabbergasted. Wrong. I am on the money.
You're so wrong.
That's the only explanation for using Twilight. I love the Twilight. It's a favorite series. Oh my gosh, I'm outnumbered here.
Good.
लिंग्विस्ट्स इन सारे लैंग्वेजेस को कलेक्टिवली दार्दिक फैमिली के ग्रुप से रेफर करते हैं, जिसमें अफगानिस्तान के नूरिस्तानी और पाकिस्तान के कोहिस्तानी लैंग्वेजेस भी शामिल हैं। 700s में लिखी गई नीलमता पुराना में कश्मीर के मैथोलॉजिकल ओरिजिन का उल्लेख है। कहते हैं कि पिछले मनवंतर की समाप्ति के बाद कश्मीर में सेमी ह्यूमन सेमी सर्पेंट लाइक ग्रुप्स रहते थे कॉल्ड नागास। ऋषि कश्यप कश्मीर में पहले
Nagas.
इंसानों को सेटल करना चाहते थे। जब नागास
Oh, that's why they talk about that pit that no one's investigated is the Naga pit.
No, it's called Nog.
Nog.
Nog basically means a spring or a pond type of place. So there's like all the pond, lakey looking places have like Nog at the end of their name. Like
Oh,
Anant
okay,
Nag.
okay.
Yeah.
In
and all
reference
those.
to the
Vedic
the
Nag,
Naga.
Anant Nag,
Naga.
yeah.
Okay.
All those places.
When will you do a door giveaway? I have no clue what that is. I have no clue what that is.
ने प्रोटेस्ट किया, उन्होंने नागास को कर्ज कर दिया कि साल के 6 महीने उन्हें पिशाचों के साथ रहना पड़ेगा। 6 महीने के एंड में द मैन वुड स्ले द पिशाचस एंड देन दे वुड लिव फॉर द नेक्स्ट 6 मंथ्स। 1100s में कश्मीर की हिस्ट्री पर लिखी गई राज तरंगिनी में लिखा गया है कि कश्मीर वैली एक टाइम पे एक लेक हुआ करता था विद द नेम सती सरस,
that's what we're talking about.
पार्वती जी का लेक। स्टोरी के मुताबिक ऋषि कश्यप के कर्ज के कारण बारामूला हिल्स में एक गैप क्रिएट हो गया, जिससे लेक का सारा पानी पाकिस्तान में ड्रेन हो गया। अकॉर्डिंग टू अनदर लेजेंड, इस लेक में एक पिशाच रहता था बाय द नेम जलोद्भवा, जिसे विष्णु जी ने एक बोर यानी कि एक वराह का रूप लिया और उसका संहार किया by striking the mountain at the Baramulla hills. By the way, Baramulla का actual नाम वराहमूला था, literally meaning the boar's teeth. Now, all of this isn't just story. There is some geographical evidence that something like this could have happened. Except they don't think any religious entity was involved, but rather an earthquake. कश्मीर का नाम is theorized to be from का यानी पानी and shimira meaning something that has dried up. And हाँ, मैं तो बताना भूल ही गया, कश्मीर is also featured in the Mahabharata, भीष्म पर्व to be precise.
शूद्राभिराथ धरदाः काश्मीराः पशुभिः सह कशिकाश्च तुकाराश्च पल्लवा गिरिगभराः।
1906 में ब्रिटिश लिंग्विस्ट ग्रियर्सन ने अपनी किताब द पिशाचा लैंग्वेजेस ऑफ नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न इंडिया में थियराइज किया था कि ये सारे दार्तिक लैंग्वेजेस एक एक्सटिंक्ट प्राकृत कॉल्ड द पेशाची प्राकृत से निकले। इस प्राकृत का कश्मीर के 2 प्रमुख किताब राज तरंगिनी और बृहद कथा में भी उल्लेख है। ग्रियर्सन थियराइज करते हैं कि जिस तरह वेदों में राक्षस और असुर कॉरेस्पॉन्डेड टू एक्चुअल एनिमी ट्राइब्स, पिशाचस कुड आल्सो रिफर टू द ट्राइब्स जो कश्मीर के नॉर्दर्न बर्फीले एरियाज में रहते थे। दिस वुड बी द प्रेजेंट डे शिना पीपल,
What?
जो कि आज गिलगिट में रहते हैं। शिना ज़बान को द लैंग्वेज ऑफ द फेरीज भी कहा गया बिकॉज इट हैज एसोसिएशन विद मैजिक।
కొండే एहसास प्रोग्राम में 22,000 रुपए मत गलई योगा वाजे।
कुछ लोग ऐसा मानते हैं
haven't
कि
seen that
कश्मीरी इसी शिना जबान से ओरिजिनेट हुई होगी और इसमें बाद में वैदिक संस्कृत का इन्फ्लुएंस आया होगा।
It's derived from the Sanskrit language, but it had another ancestor before the Sanskrit language, and that language is called Shina language. But after the emergence of Sanskrit, the Shina language got completely overlaid, and after that, only Sanskrit was used in Kashmiri.
रियर्सन के मुताबिक दार्डिक लैंग्वेजेस दोनों ईरानियन और इंडो आर्यन ब्रांचेस से अलग थे एंड दे मेड अ थर्ड डिस्टिंक्ट सब ब्रांच ऑफ द इंडो ईरानियन फैमिली। सो बेसिकली
So the one that my mother speaks is derived from Indo-Aryan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
सोचते थे कि जब
But what
पिशाचों
about
की
grandma?
पेशाची और
This is the grandma.
The
Kashmiri.
Yeah, the Indo-Aryan?
No, the Kashmiri.
Oh, the Kashmiri. So you're
Yeah.
talking about the branch
other
from
one.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, but so she speaks the Kashmiri, and then mother speaks the branch. The Indo.
Go back to the
Aryan.
table.
Yeah, I need to see. I just
So
know.
this is the table,
Yes.
the Aryan, and then there's the Indo-Aryan, Iranian, and the Dardic. So the Dardic are the Kashmiri descendants, and the Indo-Aryans are the Dogri
Oh,
descendants.
okay.
Yeah.
So-
So this is the extreme. This extreme is mother, that extreme
This
is
extreme
father.
is mother. This is father.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay.
just stuck somewhere.
Yeah, you're an Iranian. That's what
No,
you are.
no,
You're,
I'm not.
No, if you have this and this, what do you become? This.
That's not how it works.
That's how this thing works.
No.
That's how this works.
I become the closest to the Aryans.
That's how this
That's
becomes.
what I become.
Sure.
they made a third distinct sub branch of the Indo-Iranian family. So basically linguists सोचते थे कि जब पिशाचों की पेशाची और आर्यों की वैदिक संस्कृत एक दूसरे से मिल गए तब मॉडर्न डे दार्दिक लैंग्वेजेस ने जन्म लिया। But would you be surprised to know कि ग्रियर्सन की थ्योरी को आज एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं मिलता? ग्रेजुएशन के बाद आए एक प्रोमिनेंट लिंग्विस्ट फ्रॉम नॉर्वे कॉल्ड Georg Morgensteiner। इन्होंने 1923 से 1971 तक, देख रहे हो ना, 50 साल के करीब अफगानिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, इंडिया और ईरान में बहुत सारे एक्सपीडिशंस किए। इन एक्सपीडिशंस में वो जगह जगह जाते, लैंग्वेज ऑडियोज कलेक्ट करते एंड दे कुड स्टडी द दार्दिक लैंग्वेजेस वेरी डीपली। अपने एक्सपीडिशंस में शीना और कश्मीरी के अलावा Morgensteiner जी मिले होंगे काफी सारे अलग दार्दिक लैंग्वेजेस से, जैसे कि चित्राल की खोवारी भाषा से, तोरवाली से, अफगानिस्तान के नूरस्तानी यानी कलश, काक्चे और प्रेसून जैसे रेयर भाषाओं से,
Doesn't the tune sound familiar?
नूरिस्तानी जिन देवताओं को मानते हैं उनका कनेक्शन वैदिक गॉड से जुड़ा हुआ लगता है। कलाश लोगों की तरह दे बिलीव कि एक देवता है हु गवर्न्स हेवन एंड हेल कॉल्ड इम्रो, ऑल्सो नोन एज इमरा और मारा। मारा इन वैदिक लिटरली मीन्स मृत्यु, जिससे कुछ लोग सोचते हैं कि ऋग्वेद के यम और इम्रो में कनेक्शन हो सकता है।
नूरस्तानी वैसे इज द पॉलिटिकली करेक्ट टर्म। पहले इस ग्रुप को काफिरी बोला जाता था बिकॉज द स्पीकर्स ऑफ दीज लैंग्वेजेस रेजिस्टेड एक्सेप्टिंग इस्लाम फॉर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम एंड हेंस वेर कॉल्ड काफिर्स। हाउएवर टुडे दे हैव बीन एक्सेप्टेड इन द पाकिस्तानी सोसाइटी एंड हर साल इनका एनुअल कलश फेस्टिवल भी होता है, जहाँ पे कई सारे कलश पीपल एक दूसरे से मिलते हैं।
ये कोई जश्न नहीं है या ना कोई मेला है। ये फेस्टिवल कलाश लोग अपने मजहबी सकाफत के तौर पर मनाते हैं। कलाश लोगों को ये फेस्टिवल मनाने के लिए ना किसी कैमरे की ज़रूरत है, ना किसी मीडिया की ज़रूरत है और ना ही किसी टूरिस्ट की ज़रूरत है।
लद्दाख में भी also you'll find a group of people who speak this rare language called Brokska. The speakers of these languages identify themselves as Dard Aryans and the place that they live in is called the Aryan Valley, जहाँ पे folks still practice very ancient rituals that are not very well known to people outside.
मतलब हमारा भाषा को दर्द आर्यन लैंग्वेज हम कहते हैं, मगर हमारे लैंग्वेज में संस्कृत का काफ़ी लैंग्वेज आता है। जैसे हम 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 संस्कृत में 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 यही हम भी कहते हैं।
इन सारी लैंग्वेजेस को एनालाइज
Sharish, I think I'm saying that correct. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a member. Yeah. When it comes to language and the origin of language, I mean, this stuff goes way over my head. Way over my head. My first language is Spanish. I grew up in an American country, so I
He's
spoke
Mexican.
English. No, I'm a
He's
white man.
Mexican.
I'm a white man. I just saw the
Mexican.
writing on the wall. We were getting invaded by Mexico. It just made sense.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's just like language has never been my specialty, but it is fascinating seeing just how much time has changed. Like even the English language, like there are words I would use as like a signal as to, well, there is one that used to be used that meant a bundle of sticks. And then in a few years or after like a century, it turned into meaning a cigarette. And then in like a decade or a few decades, it turned into meaning a homosexual. A derogatory term for a homosexual. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it went from being a bundle of sticks, which are crushed, rolled up in a tube, and you smoke it. So it's like that became the word for it. And because they were putting a stick in their mouth, it became a derogatory term for the homosexual community. I'm going around the words so people know what I'm saying without me saying. I hope I got close enough to it. But yeah, language is fascinating how much it's changed throughout time.
करने के बाद मॉर्गनस्टाइन कंक्लूजन पे आए कि केवल नूरिस्तानी भाषाएं ही इंडो ईरानियन के एक इंडिपेंडेंट ब्रांच कंसिडर किए जाएंगे। इनके अलावा दर्द की हर एक ज़बान
See?
मोस्टली
Dogri. It's right there.
Dogi?
Dogri.
Is that you?
And Kashmiri. Yeah. See?
What? Oh, okay, so you're Kas?
And up top, what was it? Damn it.
I'll go back. I'll go back second. Verdict.
Vedic Sanskrit.
Vedic. Vedic? Okay.
अलावा दर्द की हर एक ज़बान मोस्टली इंडो आर्यन ही है। मतलब
I'm not even on there.
संस्कृत से ही है।
No, you're not.
Discovery which meant that दार्दिक करके कोई एक particular linguistic family
That makes sense. Now it makes sense.
Because they worshipped weird things. They did weird things.
No, it makes sense. Because if you look at it,
this was a
They all come
groundbreaking
from
discovery.
they all came from different, they're not family members. They're not. They're not a family. But they became a family. But they're not. So now it makes sense. Now it makes sense.
करके कोई एक पर्टिकुलर लिंग्विस्टिक फैमिली नहीं है. It's more of a
I
geographical
still
term,
prefer
and
my
all the languages
description.
considered Dardic actually belong to different language families. For example, Ladakhi और Balti Sino-Tibetan family में ये belong करता है, जबकि Northern Hunza की Wakhi language Iranian family को belong करती है, just like Pashto. But here's a crazy part. We also have a language जिसका दुनिया के किसी और language से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है. Made Burushaski. Burushaski बोली जाती है Hunza, Yasin और Nagar districts में in Gilgit-Baltistan. And इसमें कुछ ऐसे यूनिक फीचर्स हैं जो और किसी लैंग्वेज में आपको नहीं मिलता. बुरुशस्की में there are no standalone words for some nouns. For example, there is no word for a nose. There are words for my nose मतलब amush, your nose gomush, his nose mush, and her nose momush. Kashmiri and बाकी Dardic languages, because of their geographical isolation, इनमें कई सारे features which have directly come from Vedic Sanskrit are pretty well preserved. आज संस्कृत नॉर्थ के मुकाबले साउथ इंडिया में ज्यादा अच्छे से preserved है. So इसके वजह से आपको क्लासिकल संस्कृत में थोड़ा द्रविडियन टच देखने को मिलता है.
शांतिं कुर्वन्ति हरवैवस्वतोदगम्.
But let's listen to this audio reconstruction of how Vedic Sanskrit would have sounded like.
कयः कवयः सुरावतं गृहमाविशन् यत्र जनौनदं क्रीणाति पिबति च तत्र यः यौषा मदस्य तामनैहिता सा ता अपृच्छत् किं यूयन्तयः सुरायवः इति.
Notice how the texture of this language feels a little different from classical Sanskrit. Dardic भाषाओं में आपको ये Vedic Sanskrit का rhythm काफी abundantly देखने को मिलता है.
You're nodding your head. I was like, it sounds no different.
Which is virtually the same as the Sanskrit Dirgha. Khowari में आंसू को अश्रु कहते हैं, which again comes from Sanskrit. Even this song that you heard in the beginning, यहाँ पर हरद is the Kashmiri term taken from Sanskrit sharad. Sharad ऋतु. काफी सारे vocabulary in Kashmiri also overlap with Vedic. For example, for the term agar, Vedic में कहेंगे यदुवै, which in Kashmiri becomes yodvoi. In most other Indian languages, it is yadi or jodi. पूछना is prach in Sanskrit and prich in Kashmiri.
Goras pruchum saasilete. Yasna kehvanan, tas kya naav. Prachan, thachis tulusus, kehnas nishe, kya thaindrav.
January, Tithir, February, Vahuk, March, Ziat, April, Har, May, Shravan, June, Bhadra, July, Ashid, August, Kartik, September, Manjuhar, October, Pok, November, Magh, December, Phagun.
संस्कृत में नंबर्स में 2 हमेशा द्विरूट से आता है, पर आज नॉर्थ इंडिया की लगभग सभी लैंग्वेजेस में 2 या बा यूज होता है, लेकिन कश्मीरी में नहीं. जैसे 62 हिंदी में 62, संस्कृत में द्वाषष्टि, कश्मीरी में दहत. 72 हिंदी में 72, संस्कृत में द्विसप्तति, कश्मीरी में दुसतत. कश्मीरी फॉर्म्स यहाँ संस्कृत से ज्यादा मिलती जुलती हैं, जबकि हिंदी और दूसरी भाषाओं में ये रूप काफी बदले हुए हैं.
Kashmiri may have preserved even some pre-Vedic phonetic elements.
So, do you have anything to say?
What? Say what?
Well, it's like everyone's here for you, honestly. You're the one with the intel. Like, that's the thing. For me...
What intel?
Yeah, for me, I have no correlation. I haven't even been up to Kashmir. The closest I have been is J&K.
Well, you've been in my family. You've heard them talk.
Yeah, I know.
Huh?
I'm listening to what they're saying, and then grandmother starts speaking, and then all of a sudden, I no longer know what they're saying because they've switched to Kashmiri. And I'm just like... Well, I no longer can catch what the conversation's about. They went from talking about what they're going to make for food to, I don't know.
Well, they usually talk about, if you like that thing, or maybe we should make something else, or will you be okay eating this? And then I have to just be like, yeah, just make whatever.
Yeah. But that's what it is. That's what it's like for me.
Rost and sost, they correspond to the Sanskrit rahit and sahit. Linguists say that rost and sost ka jo sa hai, that is even older than Vedic Sanskrit, jahan par there might have been a sa to her shift. So it seems like that instead of being a child of Sanskrit, the older variations of Kashmiri and Shina could have been cousins of Vedic Sanskrit, because of which it is no surprise that we have a Rig Ved that is fully preserved, written on birch bark in the Sharda script, which was an ancient script used to write Kashmiri. We also have a special version of the Atharva Veda called the Kashmiri Atharva Veda. अगर आप आज दार्दिक लोगों को उनके origin के बारे में उन्हें पूछेंगे, a lot of them will tell कि they were the descendants of Alexander's army.
हम रोम राज से आए, तो रोम से अलेक्जेंडर ही तो आया था.
We Hindustanis are totally different and distinctive from the dark Asian nations. Still, we believe that we are Greeks. We are from the Greece land. We are Macedonians, and we are.
He looks Greek.
Spartans.
As we entered Malana.
Well, that's the thing. Like, remember when we first started talking, I was telling you about, like, because you were like, when she finally told me where she was from, I was like, oh, you're of Indian descent. Then there would probably be some of Alexander's army, like, because it was just like how they went as far as like some parts of India. And Alexander had like this concept of every time he took over, he would integrate himself into the nation by marrying a princess and trying to get in, like that was the concept.
Who knows? Maybe he's my great something.
Maybe. But yeah, it was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, you went through this, like the Mongolians, just like all that stuff. I was just naming it off like, oh, I actually know a bit. Because I knew nothing about India, but I knew about those raids, and I studied like those kinds of like the conquerors of old, and it always mentioned them traveling towards India.
Persians too.
Yeah, it always mentioned them traveling towards India. Like that's always the direction they go. It's interesting. I find it kind of fascinating because at any time they're always like going towards India every time, and then of course they never always get into India, but
just the mountains.
Yeah, they always get into the mountains, and that's it. They get beaten as soon as they start facing the elephants.
We could feel a sense of mystique build within us. After
You might be
all,
royalty.
it's not every day you visit a place that is said to be inhabited by the descendants of Alexander's men.
Now, this event did happen. Alexander did reach India's borders, and he caused a massive geopolitical event. This region, called Gandhar in historical times, jahan se Gandhari आई थी, by the way, politically split into two parts. One part of the Takshila sided with Alexander, while the other part, the Ashvakas, they fought Alexander tooth and nail. इनके बाजू में था kingdom Abhisaris, the name of Kashmir back then. Greek sources mention that it was next to the river Hydaspes, the name of Chelem. Abhisaris played both sides, but eventually it submitted to Alexander. Historians don't believe that Alexander का invasion would have caused a big genetic change in the region. Most Dardic लोगों की origin goes way back in the past, from the same waves of migrations that brought the Indo-Europeans into India. While the main branch or the Indo-Aryans blended with the population of India, the few Dard tribes that haven't converted to Islam today, we can still find the remnants of the historical Vedic culture. 3rd century BC के आते-आते मौर्य साम्राज्य के सम्राट अशोक ने कश्मीर में बुद्धिज्म इंट्रोड्यूस किया, and he founded the city Srinagari, present name Srinagar. इस पीरियड में रीजन का प्रेस्टीज लैंग्वेज was गांधारी प्राकृत.
And during that early period, the original Indian language was not Sanskrit, it was Gandhari, the language in the Gandharan cultural area, which is India's northwest.
Which was written in the Kharoshti script, one of the only scripts of India जिसका origin ब्राह्मी से नहीं हुआ. Gandhari went on to become the official language of the Kushan Empire, जिनके राजा कनिष्क ने बुद्धिज्म को सेंट्रल एशिया और चाइना तक ले पहुंचाया.
अफगानिस्तान में मैंने एक बात और देखी. मुझे जिस होटल में ठहराया गया उसका नाम था कनिष्क. अफगानिस्तान एक मुस्लिम देश है. मुझे बड़ा ताज्जुब हुआ. मैंने कहा कनिष्क यहाँ कहाँ से आए? तो मेरे साथ अफगानिस्तान के विदेश मंत्री थे. मैंने कहा कनिष्क आपका कौन लगता है? कनिष्क से आपका क्या संबंध है? कहने लगे कनिष्क हमारा पूर्वज है, कनिष्क हमारा पुरखा है. He was one of our forefathers. मैंने कहा तब तो हमारे आपके पुरखे एक हैं.
ये जो गांधार region है ना, it was very cosmopolitan. It was kind of like English today, which is why Gandhari में you will find flavors of Greek, Persian, Turkic, and even Tibetan. Let's listen to this recitation of how Gandhari Prakrit would have sounded like, and try to see if you can feel this international flavor here.
विश्ववर्म सस्त्रेतगस पुत्रे इंद्रवर्म कुमरे सभर्यये हिमे शरीर परिठवेति तणुकुई मिथुभुमि विश्ववर्म स्त्रतेगो शिशिरेन यस्त्रतेग भल्य बुयि.
इस इंस्क्रिप्शन में जो आपने ये शब्द सुना स्ट्रेटेगो, दिस लिटरली मींस अ मिलिट्री जनरल, एंड इट इज अ लोन वर्ड इन गांधारी फ्रॉम ग्रीक. इसी शब्द से वी गेट द वर्ड स्ट्रेटजी. इसी इंटरनेशनल वाइब के कारण कश्मीरी में आपको कुछ ऐसे इनोवेशंस मिलेंगे जो कि बाकी इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस में नहीं मिलते. ग्रामेटिकली इंडिया की मोस्ट लैंग्वेजेस फॉलो द सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट वर्ब स्ट्रक्चर, जैसे कि मैं खाना खाया, वो मार्केट गया, सब्जेक्ट ऑब्जेक्ट वर्ब. ये इंग्लिश से अलग है, व्हिच फॉलोज सब्जेक्ट वर्ब ऑब्जेक्ट स्ट्रक्चर.
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking about that earlier, how it's reversed and like especially in English.
Kashmiri is unique because it follows something called the V2 word order, which makes it closer to English and German. So to say आज मैं बाग में सैर किया, you would say आज कर मैं बागस मन से सैर, literally meaning आज किया मैंने बाग में सैर. कश्मीरी में कुछ नए vowels भी हैं, और एक दो नहीं, पूरे के पूरे 6. These are called central vowels and they take a very short time to make.
Gur, clock, verge, ring, patuj, straw mat, tur, chill, ke, eat, lot. Lightweight.
Phonetically, Kashmiri में संस्कृत
showing
वर्णमाला
it.
के आखिरी दो columns, यानी कि voiced aspirants और nasals,
I was just
ये
happy
बिल्कुल
it was
नहीं
the
use
one
होते.
ring.
Of course, with the exception of ma and na. So, for
Lord
example,
of the Rings.
Kuwari में पृथ्वी is boom, as opposed to the Sanskrit bhumi. Nuristani में धुआं is doom, and Kashmiri में दूध is dot. All of this makes Kashmiri very unique in India. Let's do a tiny recap. अब तक हमने दर्दिस्तान की वैदिक रूट्स को एक्सप्लोर किया, बुद्धिज्म का प्रभाव को समझा, और कश्मीरी के अनोखे फोनेटिक्स और ग्रामर को भी समझा. अब फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करते हैं और देखते हैं कि
Honestly, with the similarities to things like, especially with like Hindi as well, there's a reason why I can understand
Kashmiri
that
a bit.
yeah. But at the same time, I'm out of the conversation
Well,
because a lot of the
really have to pay attention to it.
because I think the only things that are really similar are like the context, but like so filler words like the words like and how you link words together are different. They are different.
Like the whole sentence would sound different, but if you just focus on the words, you'd know exactly what we're talking about.
I'd hear like certain key things that'd be like, oh, they mentioned food, they mentioned beans. Okay, maybe that's something that's going on, like something like that.
7th सेंचुरी के बाद कश्मीर में क्या क्या हुआ? बुद्धिज्म धीरे धीरे करके कश्मीर से डिक्लाइन होने लगा था और कश्मीर में हिंदुइज्म का एक अद्भुत गोल्डन फेज स्टार्ट होने लग गया था। शैविज्म एक नए और शक्तिशाली रूप से उभरा जिसे आज हम कश्मीर शैविज्म के नाम से जानते हैं। कश्मीर शैविज्म बना था शंकराचार्य के अद्वैत, वासुगुप्ता जी के शिव सूत्र और अभिनव गुप्ता के तंत्र लोक से एनरिच होकर। इसी प्लान से द मॉडर्न कॉन्सेप्ट्स लाइक कुंडलिनी, चक्र, स्पंदा या कॉस्मिक वाइब्रेशन सब ओरिजिनेट हुए। कारकोटा वंश के ललितादित्य मुक्तापीड़ा कश्मीर के शान बने। उन्होंने कश्मीर के बॉर्डर्स को दूर सेंट्रल एशिया और चाइना तक स्प्रेड कर दिया। उन्होंने मार्तंड सूर्य मंदिर जैसा एक अद्भुत मंदिर भी बनाया और
That's the temple.
What temple?
उनके बाद अवंती वर्मन जैसे उत्पल वंश के राजाओं ने अवंतीपुर में भी मैग्निफिसेंट टेंपल्स
The
बनाए।
one where my father has his name is on the stone for what's it called?
Chiseled?
No. You know when something is destroyed and you do renovation type of thing on it, and because now there's the Martin Tirth and now there's a Martin Sabha, which is basically like a committee for the Sun Temple.
The temple was destroyed?
No, but it was like in a bad condition, and my father went there and he stayed there for several years, and he like reconstructed it, did the whole like gathering of the people, brought them together, and now they have like separate like a area for living there for like you know, if somebody wants to rest there or anything like that.
Yeah,
and a lot of father's family are actually like the priest at the temple. So like his uncles, like my grandmother's brothers, they're always sitting there or everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and his name is on the tablet there because, yeah.
It's inscribed there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't want to get into the whole politics of it, but his contribution was great, I guess. So
yeah,
they put his name there.
Took time.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was the Sun Temple. We'll go there sometime, but everybody knows me, so that's why I don't like going there. But there's like a pond type thing, and there's like a shivling, you know, the thing in the middle of the pond, and there's so many fishes there.
Okay.
Like so many fishes.
Well, when they stop killing tourists, I'll go up there.
No, they don't kill, because around
that was the
area.
Plan. Around my birthday, we were gonna be.
Yeah,
and then
but around
they
that
killed
area are
28 people there.
the other relatives that live there too. So
Yeah,
but.
साथ में कश्मीर में एक इरिगेशन रिवॉल्यूशन भी लाया। दूर दूर से विद्वान इंक्लूडिंग शंकराचार्य, रामानुजा, ये सब शारदा पीठ को आते टू एक्सेस द विशाल लाइब्रेरी दैट इट हैड। सम इवन कॉल्ड इट द ऑक्सफोर्ड ऑफ द ईस्ट। इवन इन दिस कार्नाटिक सॉन्ग कॉल्ड कलावती कमलासना युवती, शारदा पीठ को सरस्वती मां का निवास कहा गया।
शरद ज्योत्स्ना शुभ्राकार शशिवदना काश्मीर विहारा।
You sound better.
14वीं शताब्दी आते आते कश्मीर अपने प्रेजेंट इस्लामिक फॉर्म में आने का प्रोसेस स्टार्ट कर चुका था, पर ये ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन उतना सिंपल नहीं था जितना हम जनरली अज्यूम करते हैं। इस्लाम का अराइवल कश्मीर में इनिशियली पीसफुल था। 1320 में जब एक लद्दाख का जनरल रिंचन गद्दी संभालने वाला था, he decided to convert himself into Hinduism and particularly Shaivism, but उनको एक पंडित जी ने बोला कि no thanks, you seem unfit. So dejected, he met a Sufi saint called Bulbul Shah, and according to some Islamic scholars, Rinchen was so impressed by how simple and practical Islam was, he converted himself into Islam, and he renamed himself as Sultan Sadruddin, becoming the first Muslim Raja of Kashmir. बुलबुल शाह जैसे सूफी सेंट्स ने कुछ ही टाइम में अराउंड 10,000 लोगों को पीसफुली कन्वर्ट कर दिया था। ऐसे ही एक सूफी थे
It's funny because of how like Islam talks about Jesus Christ. It's easier for me to believe it was the other way around, because they'll always take something that's like history, known history, and like fact, like there's documented story of someone, like Jesus Christ's life is documented. There's proof of it, him existing, and things like that. And then they always like take and go like, no, it was this. It was this. It's always done. It's always done when there is proof for it the other way.
सैयद अली हमदानी, जिन्हें शाह हमदान भी कहा जाता है, ये बंदा इतना इन्फ्लुएंशियल था कि आज भी ताजिकिस्तान के 20 समोनी नोट पर इनका तस्वीर है। उन्हें पता था कि इंडिया के लोगों में सबसे बड़ी कमी है बिलोंगिंगनेस की, so he gave them just that. Instead of a traditional mosque, कश्मीर में place of worship बना एक खानका. It's kind of like a mix of monastery and a community center, and around these khankas there were kitchens, schools, bazaars, and a whole hierarchy of Sufi leadership. Islamic scholars say that it was the lower castes first who converted because Islam promised social acceptance more. Ali Hamdani also created economy economic opportunities by bringing new crafts like carpet weaving, promoting education in Persian, and introducing new cuisine in Kashmir. जब कश्मीर में टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री ग्रो हुई तब ऊन की डिमांड भी बढ़ी और इससे लद्दाख को भी कश्मीर के इन्फ्लुएंस में आना पड़ा। और हाँ, कंसीडरिंग कश्मीरी सेंट्रल एशियंस और पर्शियन से इतना ज्यादा ट्रेड करते थे who were already Muslims, converting to Islam also would have given them a business advantage. Islamic scholars के मुताबिक Tantra had kind of corrupted Hinduism and Buddhism most time, and there were a lot of meaningless rituals that involved things like wine and blood, which were quite common in Kashmir.
तांत्रिक इन्फ्लुएंस पड़ा था हिंदुइज्म पर, जो शिविज्म पर, मैजिक पर ज्यादा, मैजिक और वाइन और बाकी चीजें जो थी एम्फसाइज करती थी। तो उसकी वजह से लोग तंग भी आए थे, पेड़ लाइए, शराब लाइए, ये कर लीजिए। मार्को पोलो ने चाइना में सुना था कि कश्मीर के लोग जो हैं ऐसा मैजिक करते हैं, वो दिन भर आरती बनाते हैं, and they make their idols speak. ये जमाना ही था जादू का।
So to a large section of society जो इन सब चीजों से बहुत परेशान हो चुकी थी, Islam seemed like a more direct religion, a logical religion, a practical religion.
उन्होंने इस्लाम को एक मुकम्मल ज़ाब्ता हयात के तौर पर जो है लोगों के सामने पेश किया। यानी छोटी सी चीज से बड़ी चीज जो है वो इस्लाम किस तरह से गाइड करता है।
Well, if that's what they believed, then
1389
why were they thrown out of the
और उनके
place?
टाइम पर कश्मीर में आते हैं मीर मोहम्मद हमदानी, शाह हमदानी के बेटे। He comes to Kashmir with 300 trained preachers, but इस बार माइंडसेट अलग था। It was more orthodox, more rigid, with the aim of full control. मात्र 22 साल के मोहम्मद कश्मीर के सुल्तान सिकंदर को बहुत ज्यादा प्रभावित करते हैं। डेली सुल्तान एक स्टूडेंट की तरह उनके पास जाते हैं और इस्लाम पर लेसन्स लेते हैं। But the real game changer wasn't मीर मोहम्मद, it was सूहा भट्ट, सिकंदर का आर्मी चीफ और चीफ मिनिस्टर, जो एक बहुत पावरफुल कश्मीरी ब्राह्मण भी थे। And here comes the most tragic irony of Kashmir's history. कश्मीर में हिंदू हेरिटेज को दो अलग अलग दिशाओं से चैलेंज मिल रहा था और दोनों चैलेंज हिंदुओं से ही मिल रहा था। एक तरफ थी लल्लेश्वरी या लाल तख्त, शी वाज अ शेवाइट मिस्टिक जो अपनी पोएट्री या वक्त से ट्रेडिशनल हिंदुइज्म को चैलेंज कर रही थी। उनका मैसेज स्पिरिचुअल था, पॉलिटिकल नहीं, बट थैंक्स टू हर एक ऐसा फाउंडेशन ले हो गया था जहां रेडिकल आइडियाज पनप सकते थे।
शिव छुए थल थल रमजान मोवजान हमदत मुसलमान त्रुकए चुपनुन पान परजा सोई छे साहिबस जाने जा।
और दूसरी तरफ था सूहा भट्ट, मीर मोहम्मद से इन्फ्लुएंस्ड होकर he converted himself to Islam and became मलिक सैफुद्दीन। उसकी बैक स्टोरी थोड़ी अजीब है। एक बार वो बीमार पड़ा था और डॉक्टर उसे मटन सूप प्रिस्क्राइब किए थे। एक वेजिटेरियन ब्राह्मण होने के नाते उसने अपने कम्युनिटी से परमिशन मांगी, बट द ब्राह्मण कम्युनिटी नॉट जस्ट रिफ्यूज्ड बट आल्सो कॉल्ड हिम पोल्यूटेड या अपवित्र। सून आफ्टर उसकी बेटी के लिए हिंदू समाज से रिश्ते आना बंद हो गए थे। हार्ट ब्रोकन एंड सोशली ऑस्ट्रेसाइज्ड जब उसने कन्वर्ट किया, he became Islam's most radical enforcer। मीर मोहम्मद के साथ मिलकर, by the way he also got his daughter married to मीर मोहम्मद, सूहा भट्ट सुल्तान सिकंदर को ऐसे इन्फ्लुएंस किया कि पूरी कश्मीर का सूरत हाल बदल गया। 1398 से हिंदूज का सिस्टमैटिक परसिक्यूशन स्टार्ट हो गया। माइंड यू, एट दिस टाइम कश्मीर वाज लार्जली हिंदू एंड बुद्धिस्ट। चारों तरफ मंदिर और स्टैचूज ये सब थे कश्मीर में। सो सिस्टमैटिकली सिकंदर स्टार्टेड डिमोलिशिंग देम। उसने इतने सारे मंदिर और मूर्तियां तोड़े दैट ही गॉट द टाइटल बुत शिकन, भूतों को तोड़ने वाला, द डिस्ट्रॉयर ऑफ आइडल्स। मार्तंड सूर्य मंदिर को डिस्ट्रॉय करने में 2 साल लगे थे। इतना मैसिव स्ट्रक्चर था।
Our land is near the place.
त्रिपुरेश्वरा जैसे
Land is near.
Yeah, near this place. Our walnut trees.
Oh yeah, that you can't build on.
No, but yeah.
So this is the temple.
No, this is another temple. So there are two. They didn't but this
Sun temple.
usually falls into the archaeological thing. So they did the work around this place, but there's is a specific temple for Martand, because Martand is the sun god basically, and which is our
talking about this one.
For everybody has their own, like some worship the fish, some have like the different deities. Is it the right word, deities?
Yes, it's not deity.
Yeah. Okay. So like
Deity.
for us it's the Matan, which is the sun god.
Okay.
So we have a separate temple of it in Matan, which is like a close by place to this place. That's where my father helped building the.
Yeah, because
thing
this
up.
one looks like Martin. Sun temple.
Yeah, but this is like a historical place, right? So like doing the restoring stuff was done here, and building a separate temple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it was done in the other
So
spot.
your land is near this one or the
The
other
land
one?
is near this one, like when you drive up and you see walnut trees on the
driving...
the left side. So the road goes from here to upwards.
Okay.
And on the left side, the land you see the walnut trees are
trees?
ours.
Okay.
But if you come back from this place and you go I think it's the right direction, you come into a town. It's called Mutton, and it's the temple. It's the major temple. Anybody can tell you. It's like literally right there.
Okay.
as soon as you arrive in the town, it's called the Matan Mandir or Sun Temple or whatever.
But I do gotta say, like, I'm against like the destruction of idols and things like that. Like, even though I personally don't believe it, I still think that destroying history, like, even if it's not your own, is just one of the worst things you can do. There is nothing more proves how fearful you are when you actually start destroying things out of just fright. A statue's not going to do something to you, and it's just highly disrespectful to just do it. I mean, most of the time, they're beautiful pieces of art that just get destroyed. I mean, heck, one of the popes went around covering up all the art, like literally destroying the pieces of art that were created, the sculptures, because there were penises exposed. So he ended up having them get covered. There's just like, sure, it wouldn't be my cup of tea to go and look at them, but now they will never be their original beautiful state. Well, I say that talking about a nude male figure, but yeah, I stand by it. I stand by it. But that's the thing. It's just like you have to always be respectful everywhere you go of the culture you're in. You shouldn't go to a nation and start destroying idols because you don't believe in them, just like you shouldn't go to a nation and build idols if they don't believe in them. It goes both ways. It really goes both ways. It just how I feel.
करने में 2 साल लगे थे। इतना मैसिव
seeing is just disgusting.
विजयेश्वरा, चक्रधरा, त्रिपुरेश्वरा जैसे हजारों साल पुराने मंदिरों को कंप्लीटली इरेज कर दिया गया। बुद्धिस्ट मोनास्ट्रीज को डिस्ट्रॉय करके वहाँ पे जो बुद्धा स्टैचूज थे उनको मेल्ट करके कॉइन्स बनाया गया था। हर किस्म के हिंदू धार्मिक प्रथाएं को बैन कर दिया गया था। तिलक लगाना, शंख बजाना, मंदिर में घंटियां बजाना, इवन अंत्येष्टि
Yeah, some even say that the Pandavas, you know, the five brothers, they lived in that place when they were like kicked out of their kingdom.
जिन्होंने रेजिस्ट किया उन्हें एग्जीक्यूट कर दिया गया।
I don't know
हिस्टोरियन
if it's
जोना
right or
राजा
wrong,
लिखते हैं कि
but
there was no
that's
city,
what
no
people
town,
say.
no village where temples were unbroken. The world trembled. Ironically, जो कल्चर हजारों साल तक कश्मीर में फैली फूली, वो अपने ही कल्चर में रेफ्यूजी बन चुकी थी।
कश्मीर, मैं तुम्हें श्राप देती हूँ। तुम्हारे लोग झूठे होंगे। बाहरी दुनिया में उन्हें कभी पूरे विश्वास से स्वीकार नहीं किया जाएगा। उनकी आत्माएं इस धरती से जुड़ी रहेंगी, पर कभी
Just let me read it.
Are Jewish people Kashmiri?
भी पूरी तरह अपनी नहीं बन पाएंगी। जैसे मैंने यहाँ आकर अपना सम्मान खोया, वैसे ही तुम्हारा वैभव भी कभी स्थायी नहीं रहेगा।
नीलमत पुराण में लिखा है, विशोका लक्ष्मी का रूप कश्मीर को शुद्ध करने आई थी, लेकिन सती पहले पहुँच गई और कश्मीर ने उसकी प्लान रिवील कर दी। अपमानित होकर विशोका ने श्राप दिया, इस धरती के लोग कभी सच्चे नहीं माने जाएंगे। जो भी पाएंगे वो टिकेगा नहीं, सम्मान सुख सब छीन जाएगा। कब से ये भूमि सुंदर तो है पर अधूरी। जिसने भी इसे पाना चाहा उसे सिर्फ दुख और दरार मिली। हाउ क्यूट। और वो श्राप आज भी बह रहा है।
What the heck is that?
चाहे इसे विशोका नदी या लक्ष्मी माँ का श्राप कहो या कर्मों का विचित्र खेल, जिस किसी ने कश्मीर को अपना मानने का अहंकार दिखाया है, उसे किस्मत की ऐसी मार मिली है। क्या कहे? बुद्ध चिकन की बात कर लो। He said to have died from a very slow, painful death from elephantitis actually. Suha Bhatt, tuberculosis. That's also quite painful. And Mir, well, he died actually quite peacefully on his return back from Hajj at the age of 78. कश्मीर छोड़ने से पहले, one good thing that he did, he passed on his responsibilities not to any foreigner, but to an indigenous Kashmiri, Nund Rishi, जिन्हें आलमदारी कश्मीर भी कहा जाता है। He was a figure who was revered both in Islam and Hinduism. He came from a family of recently converted Hindus, and लोग मानते थे कि वो कश्मीर में कश्मीरियत का कल्चर इंट्रोड्यूस किए थे। He started a new Sufi order called the Rishi order. हिंदू उन्हें संत मानते हैं और मुस्लिम उन्हें पीर का दर्जा देते हैं। सिकंदर की मौत के बाद एक ग्रेट रिडेम्पशन आर्क बिगैन इन कश्मीर। उसका बेटा ज़ैन उल अब्दीन, who also goes by the name शाहरुख खान, बदशाह या द ग्रेट किंग के नाम से मशहूर हुआ। उसने अपने पिता के पॉलिसीज को पूरी तरह से रिवर्स कर दिया। जिज़िया हटा दिया, तोड़े गए मंदिरों को रिपेयर करवाया गया और जिन लोगों को जबरदस्ती कन्वर्ट किया गया था उन्हें वापस अपने धर्म में आने की आजादी दी गई। उन्होंने खुद शारदा स्क्रिप्ट सीखा और महाभारत को पर्शियन में ट्रांसलेट करवाया। जिस आदमी के फादर ने बुद्ध शिकन का टाइटल अर्न किया, उसी के बेटे ने टॉलरेंस का एक नया सिंबल दिया कश्मीर को। कश्मीर इन दैट सेंस हैज इट्स ओन वे ऑफ अचीविंग पोएटिक जस्टिस। 1947 में जब भारत का विभाजन हुआ था तो पाकिस्तान से आए कबायली रेडर्स ने कश्मीर पर अटैक करके मुजफ्फराबाद, बारामूला और प्रेजेंट डे पाकिस्तान ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर और गिलगित बाल्टिस्तान के सारे एरियाज क्लेम कर लिया। वही एरियाज जहां शीना और कोहिस्तानी बोली जाती हैं, लैंग्वेजेस व्हिच आर फनीली क्लोजर टू संस्कृत देन इवन मराठी और तेलुगु। आगे की कहानी तो शायद आपको पता ही है, सो लेट्स स्टॉप हियर एंड डू सम थिंकिंग। कश्मीर को कई सदियों से कई लोगों ने पाना चाहा। राज तरंगी Sarangani literally means a wave of kings. There is something in this land that everyone has wanted to lay its claim. तो एक लाजिम सवाल आपके जहन में आ सकता है कि कश्मीर है किसका? क्या ये उन एंशिएंट नागास का है जिन्हें बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर द्रविडियंस के साथ लिंक करते हैं, या ये ऋषि कश्यप के वंशज हैं जिन्होंने यहाँ वैदिक संस्कृत की नींव रखी, शारदा पीठ जैसे ज्ञान केंद्र बनाए और कश्मीर शैविज्म से दुनिया को अवगत किया, या ये उन बौद्ध शासकों का है जिन्होंने कश्मीर को सिल्क रूट का एक अहम केंद्र बनाया, या फिर ये उन लोगों का है जिन्होंने रिसेंट 700 सालों में अपने कल्चर को कश्मीर में एस्टैब्लिश किया। ब्लैक मिरर की 3rd सीजन का आखिरी एपिसोड इज कॉल्ड मैन अगेंस्ट फायर। उस स्टोरी में सोल्जर्स को रोचेस यानी कीड़े मकोड़े जैसे दिखने वाले पैरासाइटिक स्पीशीज को मारने का आदेश दिया जाता है। बट द ट्विस्ट वी लर्न एट द एंड ऑफ द एपिसोड इज ये रोचेस दरअसल मामूली इंसान ही होता है, एक एथनिक माइनॉरिटी जिसे स्टेट खत्म करना चाहती है। सोल्जर्स में एक न्यूरल इम्प्लांट किया गया होता है कॉल्ड मास, जो इनके सेंसेस को हाईजैक कर देता है और मासूम लोगों के इमेज के बदले डरावने चिल्लाते हुए मॉन्स्टर्स दिखाई देते हैं उन्हें। अब सोचिए, कश्मीर में कोई टेक्नोलॉजिकल इम्प्लांट कभी नहीं था, बट यहाँ उससे भी ज्यादा एक मोर पावरफुल एंड पुराना टूल इस्तेमाल हुआ था, लैंग्वेज। जब हम एक पूरे ग्रुप को पिशाच या यवन या मिलिच या मॉडर्न टाइम्स में ट्रेटर या कोलैबोरेटर जैसे नाम दे देते हैं, तो हम वही कर रहे हैं जो मास इम्प्लांट का काम था। हम एक फिल्टर बना रहे हैं, एक ऐसा चश्मा जिसे हम सामने वाले को एक इंसान नहीं, एक थ्रेट की तरह देखते हैं। कश्मीर में हिंदू प्रॉब्लम या मुस्लिम प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कश्मीर में एक बिलोंगिंगनेस प्रॉब्लम है। इंसान जहाँ बिलोंग फील करता है उस जगह को वो साफ सुथरा पाक पवित्र रखता है, और जहाँ वो बिलोंगिंगनेस ना फील करे वो उसकी कदर ही नहीं करता एंड समटाइम्स उसे डिस्ट्रॉय करना चाहता है। ये अपने इविल चार्ली चैपलिन को ले लो। आर्ट स्कूल से वो रिजेक्ट हो गए एंड ही सडनली फेल्ट लाइक ही वाज नॉट एक्सेप्टेड बाय द वर्ल्ड एंड यू नो द स्टोरी। शायद अगर हमने रिचन को एक शेवाइट बना लिया होता या सुहा भट्ट को शायद उसका मटन सूप दे दिया होता, मे बी आज कश्मीर की कहानी बिल्कुल अलग होती। खैर, मेरा काम था कश्मीरी जबान की कहानी आप तक लाना। कमेंट्स में बताइए कि आपको क्या लगता है, कश्मीरी लैंग्वेज को आप कैसे एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं। अगर वीडियो अच्छा लगा,
I really liked how he ended that. I'm gonna. Oh, I did subscribe. Oh yeah, it's Indian Pixels. Of course, I subscribed a while ago. But yeah, I liked how he kind of broke that down, especially near the end where he's like, because when he started talking about like there was that tale that was being spoken about how they will be hated and never have a land of their own, never find peace. I'm just like, Jewish people? There have been so many people who have been outcast and made into wanderers, never to actually find a home. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then it's like you belittle people. You just belittle people. That's something that's always been done since the dawn of time. You make people inferior, then guess what? You become the superior race. Everyone else just has to be less than you. I mean, not everyone can be as great as I am, as this white epitome, white male figure.
Okay.
But the thing is, it's just like, that's the problem. It's like, you make people less than, make them feel confident that they will always be right. And that like goes back to like the people's mentality of not understanding about just accepting another person, learning that you'll never see eye to eye, but you can at least get along. As long as you just get along, that's like the first step. That is literally the first step. But that's the problem, is like a lot of people just don't want to be the first to do that. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if it wasn't for my wife, I've always said I wouldn't care about India. Yes, I learned about the history of like the ancient empires that would constantly try to rule, but that's about it. Everything I learned is like, oh, they make their way towards India and then stop. Always the case. Always the case. But that was about the extent that I knew. That was really the extent that I knew. But that's the thing. It's just like, I know where I'm at in life. I was always content where I was at. I hated seeing the things I love get destroyed. But yes, I'm always excited to learn more. And thanks to my wife, I'm learning a lot more. And in some cases, going down like conspiracy rabbit holes. But it's enjoyable too. It's enjoyable too. But the problem is like, since the dawn of time, people have used like, I think the term is like eugenics, where you start dehumanizing people in order to make yourself feel superior and to make it easier to target them, to make it easier to hate them and despise them because they are not people. That's the problem. It's like, that's why I always say hate people, love the individual, because no matter what, I hate groups of people, whether they call themselves Christians, whether they call themselves Muslims, whether they call themselves Mormons, whether I've never been able to talk to a group of people, but you get one outside of their collective groups, you can normally see eye to eye.
But isn't it so interesting that all of that history happened and I still happened?
Well, of course you happened.
Yeah, like you would think that
Of course
after
you
all of
happened.
that, people would start getting extinct or something.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's just like,
We're still here.
yeah, and wandering.
Uh-huh.
And wandering. I mean, you found your all the way to the U.S.
Yep.
And Indians are all over the place.
Yep.
All over the place.
Well, Indians in general, but like
Mhm.
given the history of the
Kashmir?
people, yeah, and what
Yeah,
they
well-
suffered through and everything.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like constantly being.
Kudos
at
to
the-
my ancestors.
Yeah. Always fighting back these. Well, some of them inbred with, or not inbred, bred with the foreign invaders.
No, I meant the
white
religion
man.
part. Like they didn't convert or anything.
Yeah, stayed strong. Well, some of them did.
Good job.
Some of them did.
Good job.
Some
Like
of them
my
did.
ancestors did. That's why my family was still going pretty strong.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. I feel bad for them. Oh, the Kashmiri Pandits. Yeah. I
If
mean,
you feel bad for them,
yeah.
avenge them.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
it's
say
sad.
something stupid.
When stuff like that happens, it's like what can be done? What can be done? There's yeah, I have no clue. I mean, I know how I would act in a situation, but it's like I believe in like self-defense. I believe in the right to protect myself. Like I remember watching The Files, and I was just the thing that got me so enraged was the fact that nobody picked up a weapon and slaughtered these monsters coming in to try and take their lives.
Well, because you must have noticed, like, usually Kashmiris don't really have a
Nope.
army-based job or
Yeah,
like
no soldier,
anything in
no
defense
weapon,
or
nothing.
anything. They're
Nothing.
usually like in teaching, or they're like
Yeah,
in
they're the educators.
philosophical route,
The
or
thinkers.
the literature, or all of those things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it was just like for me, I'm like that like my top priority, especially as a man, my top priority, protect my family, no matter what it is. I mean, it's protect my family. That is legit my number one priority. But yeah, and then seeing that's why I think I preferred like the Bengal Files, because they actually took up arms and were like, Gandhi, you're an idiot. It's like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, you need to fight. You need to defend. Sure, peace and love is all well and good, but you need to have soldiers that are willing to protect you in order to hold that. Nobody, well, most rational people in the U.S. know that their freedoms are bought and paid for by the soldiers that pay the price. A lot of Americans understand that. Soldiers and peace officers, they're the ones keeping the peace. They're the ones keeping our freedoms. Some states are trying, or some states and some cities are trying to give them up, but yeah. That was a good one.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait on that.